Okay, true story week. What is the number one thing you should do when you close on a house? So I'm gonna tell you the story and then you guys can drop it in the comments. Now, first of all, if you're not familiar with this channel, I'm a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states. My team's one of the top mortgage purchase lenders in America. Yeah, I'm gonna scream that from the rooftops. Check out our reviews if you're like, who is she? Okay, story time. Okay, so we started doing closing calls recently, which I really like. It wasn't something we used to do. So what happens on these calls is we talk to the buyer after they close, we give them tips, we talk about what to expect. I really like it. We just started doing it. So we had a buyer who closed and I got a text a couple days later and it was after the closing call and they said, oh my goodness, you were right. You will never believe this. So I called them and I'm like, what happened? So here's what happened. They closed on their house on like a Tuesday. And a few days later, they were going into the house because they're going to be doing new carpet, new paint, freshening up the house before they move in. Great. So they show up to the house, which should be empty, and there's a car there. And they're like, well, this is super weird. And so the gentleman, the husband, goes in. He's former military, because look, that's scary, guys. If you show up to your new house and you see a car in the driveway, generally I would say, maybe call the cops, right? In his case, I think they were probably caught off guard as well. But in his case, he's like, okay, maybe there's just a car in the driveway. This is weird. So the wife stays outside. He goes in the house. House is empty. Seems empty. So he's walking around. He's like, is anyone here? Hello? Hello? And then he sees him. Yeah, there's someone in the house. What? Who's in the house, right? Okay, it's the prior owner in the closet with a bag of alcohol, drunk as a skunk. Yeah. That guy doesn't own the house anymore, but he's in there hiding in the closet with bags of booze. Wow, that's crazy, right? And you guys are probably like, oh, well, this was probably some sketchy situation, probably some bad neighborhood. Guys, this was a $1.6 million purchase in a beach town in California known for safety. Yeah, so thankfully the guy wasn't a confrontational guy and our client is lovely. They're so empathetic and nice and compassionate. They're, he's like, hey, you don't live here anymore. Let me help you out. Give me a copy of your key. And the guy leaves. Okay, so they find out from the neighbor, because they start talking to her, that the owner had been coming back every single night after they closed and was there between 7 and 11 p.m. drinking. So the guy doesn't own the house anymore, but he's still going there to get wasted. Wow, and you're like, geez, that happens? Guys, crazy stuff happens all the time. And that number one thing you should do whenever you buy a house, change the locks. Okay, now look, this is something that I had said on that call. I'm like, I literally said, I think you should change the locks. And they're like, well, we're going to do construction. And I'm like, well, you definitely want to change the locks after that. They're not going to be living there. And I'm like, it's this beautiful beach area. What could happen? You just don't know, guys. You just don't know. And here's the thing. So I did get their permission before I did this video, of course. And I'm like, I feel like sometimes these things happen so that I can tell everyone else. And the reason it's important for you guys to know is because, what if his wife had gone in? What if the gentleman had been hostile? What if she had gotten hurt? What if the guy had been hostile and had a gun? You just don't know. And it's not just the prior owners you need to be worried about. So keep in mind, when people are selling houses, they have lock boxes with the keys to the house. There could be so many real estate agents, people who don't even really sell real estate, but they just go to all these different houses. It's a thing, like prescriptions. People are always like, you need to hide your prescriptions when you're selling your house because there's people that steal, right? What if someone made a copy of the key, right? What if? So if you guys are buying a house, day one, change the locks. And you may be like, oh, we changed the front door lock. Guys, change the back door lock too. Excuse me. Dry mouth is a thing. Rapid fire talking does this. So when you guys are buying a house, day one, get the locksmith out there. Change every single lock that enters into the home, okay? The other thing I would suggest as well if you're not going to be on the property, make sure every single window is locked, because once again, you don't know who's been in that house. You don't know if someone left a window open so they could access it later. And you may be thinking, oh, well, this wouldn't happen where I live. Guys, where they are, you would never imagine this to happen. Seriously. So safety first. You know, the other thing that I always recommend, now that I started doing these calls 4 days ago. So the other thing I'm going to be recommending like crazy, and now that this video is out, besides changing the keys, right? We're going to change the keys. We're going to make sure those windows are locked. Garage door, baby. That's right. That garage door, you're like, oh, they gave me the opener, change the code. Change the code. And you may be like, but the prior owners are so nice. Cool. Who else had a garage door opener? Who knows? Who knows what the code to that garage door opener is? It's a simple fix to keep you guys safe. And in their case, they were very lucky that nothing further happened, okay? And they did all the right stuff. You know, they filed a police report. They didn't press charges. You know, they made it clear to their agent. Their agent told that guy, like, look, we all think the guy was going through a hard time. And I think everyone wants to be empathetic to that. But look, this isn't part of your home buying journey. Change the damn locks, okay? So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it helps at least one person, you know, keep someone out of their house, because there have been some pretty scary stories over the years. And this was just a reminder to us all to always make sure that when you have that fresh start, you're getting a fresh key. Thanks for watching.